Radium Podcast, episode 43. We're back with a special edition for NAMM 2019.
2019.
This is a big year for NAMM, I think. As we've gone from NAMM, I mean, we talked about NAMM in, 2016, 17 on Radium TV.
Yeah, and I think last time we were talking about it, we were still trying to figure out what it stands for. So I think it's North
Vietnam War,
Africa.
Music men.
Music men? Wow.
The North African Music Men.
I don't know where that
2019.
Yes, that's what it is.
In Anaheim, California.
It's definitely North America. So North
American musicians money. Give it to us. That's like, it's in small print. Give it to us, please. No, they wouldn't say please. So let's talk about it because this is exciting. It's coming up this weekend. It actually starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to actually make predictions. So when you guys actually see this or hear it, you're going to be like, nah, dumbasses.
Who's dropping the bombs?
Or you're going to be like, dude, they were spot on with that. They actually do kind of know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we just pick some things that we want to talk about. So
yeah, like the
I don't care about
the audio nerd shit.
Yeah, I don't care about the fact that SSL is releasing live consoles. I don't do live sound, so
yeah,
sorry guys.
Or the fact that Dyne Audio is going to have some sort of giveaway for musicians. You know, I kind of equate that to car companies making commercials about we got a new cup holder, that holds your cup better. It's like, hey, either innovate or die, right? Dyne Audio hasn't been innovating for many years.
Ooh, talk that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to put that out there. I used to rock the BM15As, right? I love those monitors. I mixed mini records on them. I mixed jazz records on them. And they're awesome, awesome monitors. But
shit on them.
Since then, that's where you cue the cricket sound effect.
Okay. Let's talk about things we are going to talk about, though.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about what we're going to talk about.
Akai Force is up first. So this is
Akai.
This is Akai going after the push, right?
See, but this is what I'm talking about. Akai, they keep pushing. They keep trying. They keep going in. They're not giving up, dude. They were like, oh, MPC, they did the 3000, they did the 2000 XL, they did the 2500, the 5000. Computers started happening. They were like, shit, what do we got to do? They just kept innovating. They keep trying.
I was trying to get my girl to buy me the FL Studio controller that Akai did.
And they got an FL Studio controller, first of its kind.
I know, man, but
because God knows, FL Studio beat makers don't want to be clicking mouses.
Yeah, man, you got to make it light up.
Psych.
No, it's for all the people who are making beat videos. Pretty much, it's
yeah, because it's cool. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's like that. Instead of you just mousing really fast.
Yeah. Hey, watch me make a beat. Click, 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 click.
But the Akai Force is for people who basically don't want to sit and click. So
yeah, I think
it's
cool.
Pretty much a standalone.
So
MPC.
We're talking about the new Akai Force standalone. It's a full standalone thing, right?
Yeah.
So no computer necessary. It's got onboard
preamps.
Only 16 gigabytes of storage, which is super whack.
Man, that's you gotta put a flash drive in there, man.
Yeah,
that's what they're basically whack. Telling you hey, don't put shit on this thing.
Yeah.
Go get your own storage.
They're get a USB stick. Get this stuff you're gonna lose.
Put a hard drive on it.
That's my first complaint. Okay, I'm gonna talk really nicely about this machine because I think it's really dope, and I came from MPCs, but. The first thing I'm going to say is huge mistake, Akai. I have 128 gigs of storage on my phone. If you're going to make a machine for music makers and you're going to give us 16 gigs of onboard storage, that's super whack. Your MPC 5000 had a lot more than that. Your MPC 2000 had a lot more than that. We even had the 2000 where we would hack it and put a compact flash
reader
drive in there. Yeah, and it could take 128 gigs. So the fact that you gotta, plug in a thumb drive or whatever else, it's that's whack. I don't like that because who wants to haul around? It's standalone, but then you gotta haul around a hard drive and flash drives that you're gonna lose. And you're gonna be like, dude, I had this beat, but dude, I don't know where my flash drive went. I think that's super whack. So that's the first thing. I hate that because that's super stupid.
Let's say it like
2019.
this. That's very a Mac user way of looking at things. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude,
So.
it's like
Brad's
it's
a
like
Mac user.
anybody
You
that's
know,
gonna-
he's got to have the self-contained storage.
Yes.
So
If you want to make music on the go, you open the laptop. You don't want to have a bunch of peripherals, and it's so whack.
I think the Force is cool. I think they need to make it light up even more. I think it needs to be more lights. If you want to compete with Ableton, man, they got the light show going crazy.
But you know what? This is really cool because it has that big ass screen, and it's a full color screen.
Yeah.
Like display is like super dope. And some good things about it. It's like a full all-in-one interface. It has 2 mic preamps. It has balanced in and out, right? So it's a dope machine. It's all samples. You got the pads. You can fire off everything. You can sequence on it. You can plug in a MIDI controller directly
to USB. Right.
I think that's dope. I mean, you can literally take your NI machine and plug it into this thing and trigger off samples and play it like a drum machine if you wanted to.
I imagine, though, that the idea is like, hey, here's one input for your hard drive and here's one input for whatever other MIDI thing you want to do on it. So,
but also just being able to record into it, I think that's really dope because it's going to have a sequencer a lot like, Pro Tools or FL Studio or Logic.
It comes with a bunch of plugins, too. It has a Air Bundle already loaded up, which I use all the time.
AIR, they make some amazing plugins. If you guys aren't familiar, definitely go check them out. They're a German company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were with Avid for a while, right?
They got bought out, from
they
Avid.
were built into Pro Tools.
That was probably the worst thing to ever happen to that company because I was following them when they were doing Hypersonic and they were doing that for Steinberg. They used to be owned by Steinberg.
Hypersonic was dope.
And then they got bought out by Avid, and then now they're kind of like more of a freestanding company, so you can open their plugins in any DAW and not you're not.
I love their
stuck
shit.
I
like their vintage filter. I like their pump plugin where it automates the ducking, side chaining. I like their delays,
distortion,
their lo-fi stuff. The distortion's really good.
The
talkbox thing.
Yeah.
There's some dope plugins.
Yeah.
Great suite for actually
vintage
really
filter,
good.
right? You said that already.
Really great price too. But more about the Akai, like the biggest thing that I'm going to see, and I think most people are going to agree with me on this, is it's still mainly a live performance thing. Like, listen, you want to do a standalone thing. You're going to give me 16 gigs of RAM. You're going to give me a little screen. Why wouldn't I just have a laptop?
Well, that's probably what you're going to end up doing anyways. So,
right. So it's like, this is great for live performances.
I
Make
could tell
everything
you,
in it, take it to a live performance, hook it up to their setup, their Serato, whatever, fire it off in their live performance. I think that's dope.
Number one reason why live performances fails is because of the computer. So
always, yeah.
Surprise.
My computer just crashed.
The computer has a reboot. So that I wouldn't mind not having to haul around a computer. So cheers to them. You know what I mean, for doing that.
That was the beauty of the MPC.
Yeah. I think Akai has for the longest time been trying to figure out where do we go and where's the market share, because ever since MPCs kind of fell out of popularity, was it in 2010 or something like that?
Yeah, but I think the reason they fell out is because they stopped hiring the dopest designers, the electronic designers that made it, the Roger Linds. They didn't listen. You can't get bought out, Japanese company. You got a bunch of corporate guys and they're going, we got this thing, we're going to make money. And then they forgot about the soul of the machine, which was Roger Lynn. I don't care what anyone says. That was the swing programming. That was everything that he did, made the MPC what the MPC was, and why it became such a big staple in hip-hop, especially boom bap and 90s golden era. And the fact that they stopped doing that, they took it onto a corporate strategy and just decided, we're going to mass produce this stuff and we're going to make these MPK pads and all this stuff. That's where they failed, because it was not a feel. It wasn't an instrument anymore. It was just another MIDI controller. And it lost all the feel of it. It lost the feel of groove and swing. And, they tried to implement that again and it never worked.
Here's what I want them to do. Make a fully standalone Fruity Loops machine.
Yeah.
The Fire controller needs to be the Fire standalone.
That would be super dope.
That's what we need next.
It's got to be fun, though. The MPCs of yesteryear, the 3000, the 2000, the 2000 XL, the 4000 even.
Back in my day.
I mean, the 62, they
when I was young.
Yeah, but they had vibe. They actually had analog parts, like the output transformers and stuff, that gave them punch and it gave them this fatness and warmth. and it was very much an instrument that sounded a certain way. And once you take that away and you're just firing off samples on a computer or whatever, you know, like we have the means to run through some analog gear to really, you know what I mean? To really like saturate and get vibe again, but not a lot of people. You want the standalone to sound awesome right out the box.
So they need to collaborate with Neve and do
I think so. I think they need they need a designer. Yeah, sure. Rupert Neve come in and design an MPC thing. That would be sick.
It'd be super. It'd sound good, but hopefully it'd work good.
Expensive.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a market share that I think they should go for again.
That'd be sick if they did that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ever thought about it. So.
You remember my MPC 4000?
Yeah.
That thing was massive, and it sampled at 192K.
It did definitely look like it got like, you know, zombied out a little bit.
Yeah, that shit
got
was
modded,
crazy.
got things hanging out of it and shit.
You could crank out some really dope beats on those things. The sequencer on those and the timing on them were just amazing. But enough about Akai, because Akai's dope, and I'm happy for them. I think they should keep pushing the innovation and keep staying in there.
Speaking of Neve,
they're gonna hit again.
Speaking of Neve,
so Heritage.
So Heritage Audio basically makes knockoff Neves. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Because Neve no longer makes actual Neves.
Yeah, but Heritage almost makes Neve just as good, if not better, than Neve was making Neve, which is really funny. I'm sure they got some designers from the core group that was making.
Well, same with BAE. They both do the knockoffs. But this one doesn't look like a knockoff. This looks like a hybrid child. They're doing a bus compressor called the Successor. Surprise, but it's a VCA. It looks like a SSL with a Neve output, which is really cool.
Dude, all the audio nerds out there and guys that are mixing records all day, you know who you are. You're freaking out about this.
But all these audio nerds,
I know they're sitting around going like, oh God, yeah, I can't wait to hear that shit. Can't wait to hear it. I'm gonna put it on my bus compressor. I'm gonna put it on my drums. I'm gonna put,
yeah.
I'm gonna switch it off with the API 2500 because this is the answer to that,
the competitor.
Yeah.
But what I imagine they're doing is like, okay, so you guys always loved SSL. Well, we can't really make that because another company makes that. Mm-hmm. So we'll make the Neve version of that because that's what we do. We knock off Neves. So,
but it's not really a knockoff. It's just VCA compression. As far as I look at it, like Vertigo Sound, they did a quad VCA. What is that? VSM?
Mm-hmm.
VS? Yeah.
I'm saying knockoff in the sense of Neve because they literally use his circuits.
Oh, for sure.
And because
but that's what Heritage is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They use
the same colors, the knobs, everything. It's British, It's very
they same colors, different logo. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're making it very clear that they're knocking off Neve. But the weird thing,
they're going a little different. Actually, I've seen them. This is not their first product that they're like going away from, like literally making his units. You know what I mean?
Right, the 1073 and stuff. Right.
Yeah. So they made like a monitor controller, but now they're making a bus compressor that definitely has no.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
This is going to be a super dope compressor or it's going to flop. But either way, it's going to have its own sound, I think.
Yeah.
If you got VCAs and you got an output, probably the transformer, right? From the Neve style. So you got like the Carnhill kind of vibe where it's just nice saturation. It's nice color. I think that's going to be a quick compressor that's colorful. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to compete with the API. These are just what I'm thinking in my head because I've used these kind of things so much. I think it's going to sound like an API 2500, not as fat, more aggressive, more in the mid-range. It's going to be really nice color in the mid-range, and people are going to love it on drums. Like they're going to love it to get like punch and snap and snares and kicks. And I think it's going to be killer for guitars. It
literally has a 1073 output stage.
Yeah,
so.
and 1073s. If you ever use the shit out of 1073s, they're always going to give you this really amazing, colorful mid-range. They kind of take out some of the bottom, so the bottom's not there all the way, but it like kind of makes it really shape it really beautifully. So it's not too edgy in your face. It's like more of like a nice cutty, warm, almost I would say fat, but I don't think it's really fat. I think it's just like saturated nicely. Yeah. It's really cool. But I think this is going to be really
woolly.
Yeah, woolly, like mid-range vibe. I don't know how better to explain that. You got to hear it,
My nerdiness, because I do own a flock of vintage 1073s, is what if you buy something like this and then mod the shit out of it, take out and put all the old parts in, like the old Rupert parts in there? That'd probably sound even better. Okay.
Yeah. Probably sound even better.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'd like to hear it. I can't wait to hear it.
Let's talk about the future, though, and get out of the past. We have Massive X from Native Instruments. Extreme. The Extreme Edition. They announced this like last year. I guess they were trying to get like the hype train going, but it was like so early. It's like, oh yeah, here's like a logo that says Massive X coming
I bet you guys
year.
can't wait to hear it.
Everyone's like,
oh, it comes out in a year. Everyone, what? It's like, wah, wah.
But you know what they did is they tried to pre-sell complete, 12?
Yeah.
With Massive X. When it comes out next year, you get it. So they were just like trying to they basically did that for pre-sales because like if you looked at this year, because Native Instruments sells complete every year.
Yep.
So this year's complete didn't look very complete, or you're just like, oh, what'd you add? You know, why would I upgrade?
Well, Massive X is coming.
But if you buy now, you get something next year.
Hey, you gotta pitch it. You gotta get it going.
Pre-sell that shit. So they're finally gonna show you what this thing actually does, because before we just saw some logo stuff.
So the important thing here is that Massive X is gonna come out, and they're going to release the new release date of June 19th.
Which is like halfway through the year.
It's like, okay, guys, cool. But hopefully at NAMM, and you're going to see these videos, hopefully they're going to show some of this stuff. But I really think Native Instruments, you should have been pushing this a little harder earlier.
I'll keep it real. I feel
a little too little, too late.
Yeah, I'm not a EDM producer, but I know a lot of EDM producers.
Serum.
Yeah, they're pretty much on Serum now, but Massive still has good sounds, and obviously it was like the child, the fledgling, and then Serum was like, just built off of that.
Oh, for sure. Massive came out,
and then
dubstep was born off of Massive, and then Serum came out. And
same
was
with Transformers.
It was like, hey, look,
Transformers movie is born off Massive.
Yeah, but like I think Serum was like, hey, look what the dubstep guys are doing with this plugin. Mm-hmm. Let's just make a plugin that does that
better.
No, just like does that.
Yeah.
Like that's like, because Massive is massive, pun intended, right? But it's like they had like synth leads and all these pads and shit. But like, let's be real, what really sounded good in Massive? It was the aggressive bass lines and being able to wobble and stutter and draw into the step sequence thing. And then Serum was like, hey, let's just do that.
Well, yeah,
let's just do that part.
It's all wavetable, right?
Yeah,
so they're all wavetable.
Let's just do that.
Synthesis.
Really dope.
So they just did that. Yeah, Serum sounds way better than Massive in my opinion.
Right.
But hopefully, like Native Instruments can stick it to Serum.
I think they can compete.
Yeah,
Native Instruments been in for so long.
Yeah, I just hope they do. Like, there's certain things now that are pretty standard in synthesizers. In like, I better be able to search my damn sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
give us presets that are really well laid out.
Yeah,
we
like
can tweak easily.
A library, a searchable library. I feel like Massive was like, their library system was like really bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
And Serum's library system is way better.
Really good.
But it could even be better because like I use Omnisphere, and the system's way better than both of those in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like not even on a sound level, if they can get that right, then like, man, you're light years ahead.
Yeah, my hope for Massive X is that they introduce the ability to put audio in, obviously your own samples.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a no-brainer for them.
Yeah, if they don't do that.
Yep. Yeah, bring in your own wave tables, but also your own samples, so it acts as a rompler as well.
Yeah.
If you don't know
Serum
what that
already
is,
does that.
really Nexus made that popular. Okay, I want that, but then I also want like, make it fucking easy. Like,
yeah,
I don't want
like,
oh, you got to be you have to have a PhD in synthesizing, programming synthesizers to be able to use this. Like how Massive was. It's like, oh, here's the oscillators, all this stuff. You got to detune, and then you got this, and that goes to that, and you got to chain that to that. It's like, dude, I don't want to sit around and program sounds all day.
But that's how they got all the cool noises, because it was deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was deep, but make it deep, but also make it simple.
I think Omnisphere, back to praising those guys, did the deep but simple the best too.
Oh, for sure.
So
just the sounds.
Take a book.
The presets were just like, this is amazing.
Well, I think here's what Omnisphere did is like, you could go like 10 layers down in a menu, and versus like Native Instruments, it's all just like across one page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so they did different pages on Omnisphere.
Yeah.
I think they got to do that with Massive. Like you can't have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Massive is all about chaining and sending signals, different places. But
you know what? We're not hardware guys. Hardware guys want to see it all laid apart like 1,000 knobs right in front of you.
Yeah.
So all the hardware guys are like, no, don't like hide it in different menus. Like,
especially the modular synth guys.
Yeah, they want to see it all in front of you. And then when you see that shit and then you're like starting for the first time, you're like, oh man, I'll never learn how to do this.
I don't even want to open this. Where's the preset menu? Oh, okay, this is too hard. See ya.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like the hard part is like appealing to the big nerds and then the dudes who just want to make, trap beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give me a dope sound. I want to screw that up easily. I think that's seriously why Grosbeat got so popular, is because it was so easy to screw up a sound and still like make it.
They got to integrate something like that into Massive X.
That'd be really cool.
Like
that'd be a really cool
like
move.
A pattern system, because I feel like there was a pattern system in Massive, but it could be like way better. So
yeah, there could be a lot of like programmable things like Grosbeat.
Yeah,
and the cool thing about Grosbeat that I think caught on really well was the presets for all of those things.
Yeah.
So you weren't actually going and like
drawing it yourself.
Exactly.
Like there was really no presets in Massive other than like the whole entire preset for the whole sound.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, Massive X, that's going to be a big one. I think this is going to be for some people a dream come true, and for other people, I think the majority of people are kind of like,
we just got to watch the videos.
We're over it, right? We're over it.
You're gonna watch the pitch videos, get really excited, and then when it comes out and you can hear the actual reviews, you're like,
yeah. Oh, another soft synth.
There's a lot of people doing synths these days. They got to be really careful. Like, if you're going to stand out from the crowd, you really got to do some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what Output did was really, really smart, doing the arcade thing and, being able to like, hey, we're going to make these preset loops, but also you can drag your own stuff in. And then also we're going to add, as we go, we're going to keep adding these things you can do to affect this stuff. And they have like the modifier keys where it's stuttering and stuff, So I think that's really important. So I think what we're going to see with Native Instruments from this is like they're trying to sell their complete. They're trying to get into the complete thing, but it's like software and hardware integration.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Massive X is going to take crazy, crazy steps forward with the integration of the complete control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the control, all the stuff on their keyboards and all that. I think, this is my prediction, okay? Nobody's talked about this, but I think Massive X is going to start, when it comes out, they're going to also release a hardware thing with it. And it's going to be like, whoa, and it's going to be hands-on, and people are going to freak out about that. And I think that would be a huge play for them.
Yeah, I think what, like you were saying with the output, they need to have like a cloud way to share patches between people. You know what I mean?
For sure. That'd be
like
dope.
Some sort of integration where like you can just go on and people upload their own patches. You know what I mean? And you can just download people's patch packs.
See, that's
next
really
level
important
shit right there.
Yeah, third-party stuff is always going to be important with all this shit. That's where all the innovation comes in. Connecting the world and then seeing what this kid's going to do. But yeah, NAMM 2019, Anaheim. This is tomorrow.
Yeah, we're talking like these are the most exciting things, but like
right,
the actual exciting things they didn't announce online.
No.
Yeah,
the exciting things are going to come up, and it'll be cool. Like Slate Digital, they're going to be announcing some things. I think like 3 new products.
Pro Tools 2019.
Avid,
oh
right?
My gosh.
Yeah.
We put the record button in a new place.
We now have MIDI. Pro Tools drummer. You remember when they announced that?
Yeah.
What I want to see in 2019, Pro Tools, Avid, NAMM.
We'll do a recap episode. There's going to be.
Yeah, there has to be. Once we actually find out what's going to happen. I think the newest Avid thing that has to happen is they need to have export all to stems with an option to bypass any groupings or busing, bypass master, or go through master, and all the options. And it would just bounce all your stems.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Every track, exactly how it's routed through all the buses with the reverb sends and everything.
Yeah.
And if they can I'm sure that algorithm is just insane, like to figure that out. Because it's, you got to go through this bus and route that, and they got to do all the math on it. But if they could do that, dude, I mean, Logic's got it down pretty well, but it's not there yet. And I think if Avid did that in a sample accurate way, we'd be killing it.
Avid really got hurt, and this is back when we were going to AS, maybe like when we were in college and stuff. Yeah. Avid got really hurt when they had to upgrade, they had to ground up rewrite Pro Tools.
Yes.
They're still in 2019 recovering from that, I feel like.
That was a big deal.
Like that rewrite, that code. But they had to do it because Pro Tools was that, like, what, Pro Tools 9 going on to 10 or something like that?
And the big thing
No, it was 10 going on to 11. But it was just like, man, was that like a decade of old code. You know
right.
What I mean? So,
the issue was they were at they weren't able to utilize all the RAM in a modern computer.
Yeah.
And everyone was fucking pissed about that. You remember? It's like, dude, I can't get my Pro Tools to run. You have to have HD. Everything was you have to have HD. Get the PCIe cards. Everything runs off the HD. And then you had to pay more money to have HD plugins.
Yeah, not like more money. Like you had to sell, like pretty much the cost of a car.
You had to sell your body.
Yeah,
I did that.
You had to do.
Scarred me.
Just had to like mortgage your house to get an HD system.
Anyway, so I'm excited about NAMM 2019. I'm going to go check it out. We're not far from it, like 45 minutes away. So
let's talk about some not so musical tech.
Yeah, tech talk. Let's talk about technology. Now, technology is super, super important with what we do. It's not just music anymore, as you know.
Yeah.
We're doing video edits, coloring, podcasting with cameras, 4K, all this stuff. And it's an integral part of any business, I think. Even beat makers, they got to make, they drop a beat on BeatStars, and then they got to have album artwork. They got to have a visualizer up on YouTube. So all this stuff has to be integrated. And
people in music that don't know much about tech, it's almost like hard to.
It's like, how do we communicate?
I can't find it on my hard drive, and it's like,
dude.
Oh man, like I don't know,
dude, we can't work together.
Yeah, I don't know if you can really do this, man. Like
that's facts right there.
Like maybe you should get into a different career.
Should maybe get into like no career anymore. Like I was gonna say, maybe you should get into fashion. I'm like, no, you need to be able to have computer skills.
Yeah, you better learn Adobe.
Yeah, you gotta know Adobe. You gotta know even deeper shit. But yeah, let's talk about what's coming out because there's a lot of really exciting stuff there. Like Galaxy X, right?
Yeah.
Samsung, they keep innovating, which I love. Like they're not chasing the iPhone anymore, which is amazing. Like, good job, Samsung. Finally, they push the note stuff with the pen and everything, which
push it to the limit.
But it's great. Like you're trying to go this market, and if you're going to take market share from Apple, you need to think on your own and be innovative. You don't get to like go ride the coattails and be like, well, Apple did that. No, we got to do that.
Do you remember the since we're talking about the Galaxy X, one of the last time we talked about Samsung, I think was on the Radium TV, but we talked about those damn phones lighting on fire.
Right after I had scored a commercial with that phone.
Yeah, they told
the Galaxy Note 7.
Mm-hmm.
What was that actor on it? Christoph
Waltz.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz was awesome commercial. I was super excited. It was for Wyden and Kennedy, and it gets put out, and I swear to God, like 3 weeks later after I got it, they had to pull it.
Yeah.
The phones were blowing up on planes and shit. It's like, oh,
that was
we
the biggest
market this.
Yeah, that was the biggest PR nightmare.
It was dude, massive.
Oh yeah, like that brand, like they had to like rebuild that brand since those phones were catching on fire because people like even to this day are still like, oh, is it gonna burn up in my hand? Is my hand gonna catch on fire?
That should be like the last concern you have with your cell phone. Is this shit gonna blow up?
Should I put it in my pocket? Is my leg gonna get 3rd-degree burns?
Yeah. You remember getting on the plane and they're like, if anyone has a Samsung Note Galaxy 7, please tell us you cannot have that phone on this plane. Mm-hmm. They would announce it every time.
Yeah.
And that shit was nuts. But here's what I think they did. They recovered really well because Samsung didn't go like, oh God, we're sorry, let's focus on this problem. They went like, okay, fuck that. Let's make more phones.
Yeah.
And they're like, bam, 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 bam. And they just started releasing, they're like, Galaxy 8, Galaxy 9, Galaxy X,
Well, check this out.
Samsung, so what's so dope about the Galaxy X, though? We don't need to talk about Samsung's business plan anymore.
Check it out. So the Galaxy X has a foldable screen. I don't know if this is going to be like this foldable tech thing is going to really take off. We'll see. But like basically the pixels bend and the whole entire display bends.
It's pretty awesome.
So, I mean, it looks cool, but I'm wondering, okay, so like if you're bending this thing every day for the next 5 years or however long the phone cycle is, Like, is that thing gonna be like
the phone
really
cycle is
screwed
like
up?
9 months now.
Yeah, right. The phone cycle is 9 months.
Like,
Even
I
if
wanna
you're
get rid of this thing.
if you're folding this thing every day for 9 months, multiple times a day, is that gonna be fucked up in the middle by the end of it? Is my next question. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the technology comes out of Japan, and they've been testing this for a long time. This has actually been in the works for over a decade, I think.
They were testing that phone. That shit was catching on fire for a long time.
So now we're worried about creases in the screen. But
yeah, because if you have
like
a fucked
tablet.
up display, it's like, remember when you like crack your iPhone down the middle? You're like, oh man, I can't hardly look at this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You try to watch a movie, you're like,
try to go get that thing fixed. Hey, who fixes Galaxy X foldable things? They're like, nah, man, you got to go get a new one.
Because imagine this, like the biggest problem with the phone is, it just basically like looks like shit down the middle. And we got to recall them all again.
So we just keep it folded. You know what I mean? Because it's like a phone that turns into like an iPad, basically.
Like a tablet, yeah.
Yeah. And then you fold it. You can fold it only one way, too, which I think people are going to get fucked up with. They're going to be like, can you fold it this way? It's got.
Someone's going to make a stupid video, like someone with too much money, like, oh, I tried it, and look what happened, guys.
Yeah. oh, YouTube.
So it doesn't fold the other way.
The YouTube clickbait, like, the guy's
the video.
I folded the phone. This doesn't fold. With stupid face on it.
I want to...
million views.
Okay,
on accident.
Here's my prediction. There's a 50-50 on mass recalls of this.
You ever notice every single YouTube video like that starts with...
the whoa face?
Hey, what's up, guys?
No, literally, it's the whoa face.
Hey,
it's
what's
like
up, guys? So I just got my Samsung... Hey, what's up, guys? Every single YouTube video like that. It's fucking hilarious. I'm going to start doing that with every single story I ever do. Hey, what's up, guys?
Let's talk about something actually about this damn phone, though. So Samsung makes really good hard drives. You know what I mean? And we use... So if you're in pro recording, I think I gave this tip already, but if you're using SSDs, go with Samsung every time.
Yes, their failure rate is the best. Like the failure rate is the best, meaning it doesn't fail as much as all the other drives.
Now, the reason why Samsung wins with these Galaxy phones, because they've been popular, even though they had a little hiccup.
Faster.
It's because
more
their
GPU.
Yeah, their specs.
Their specs.
They run with the iPhone. The iPhone usually had the best specs, but now Samsung's
cameras are better. Yeah, pixels are better. Yeah.
The Samsung's outspecking the iPhones, and like I said, it comes back to because they actually manufacture the SSDs. I'm sure their screens are probably LG screens, but same with iPhones. iPhones are LG screens, and those. I doubt Samsung's manufacturing panels. I guess they make TVs though, right? Samsung makes TVs? Yep. Okay, so then they might be making the panels themselves.
Yeah.
But that's
Samsung's in a really good spot for manufacturing.
Because that's why they can compete with Apple, because like they actually manufacture all this shit. You know?
Yeah, they even make chipsets and stuff too, for sure. And they make
laptops, right?
I mean, fuck. Yeah. This Samsung stuff's in your iPhone.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
Of course.
Their Bluetooth and shit.
Yeah.
Cars,
so this is going to be a game changer, I think, for this, because it's going to push something forward. Because I'm tired of like the same phone technology.
He's sick of the touch bar, Apple.
No, it's not that.
He wants touch screen, Apple.
I'm tired of like the only innovation being, we took something away and now it's a different thing. You know? Oh, we took the 1/8" jack because we need to move forward. So then we fucked you over. Oh, we took away the home button and now you just swipe up. Who cares? That's not innovation to me. That's like you guys sitting in a design room going like, how can we move people forward, but then also sell accessories and make another $1 billion? And I think that's whack. Like having to have a little nub thing where you can have to plug your headphones in. You lose your Apple plug-in headphones that have the lightning connector, and you're like, I'm fucked. Can't use any of my other headphones. They don't have lightning connectors on them.
You could buy an $8 dongle.
Yeah, just what I want to do is wait on a dongle. See, that's the thing. Nobody wants to go wait on a dongle so they can listen to their music. It's stupid. And then I can't charge my phone while I'm listening to music. Oh, but you got to
buy a splitter.
Yeah, but you could get a wireless charger. Why wouldn't you move forward? Get a wireless charger. It's like, don't force people to move forward. You know, Samsung, you're doing the right thing here because you're like, look, we're not forcing you to do shit differently. We're just adding something really cool.
They got to do a foldable laptop. Like instead of having a keyboard. Like you literally just have a touch screen.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Thing, and then you could do full screen laptop if you want to watch a movie.
Be
or
so
shit.
sick.
Yeah.
But like this is cool because it's pushing it forward. You know, I guess like 4 or 5 years ago, I was thinking like, yeah, we'll be able to like hologram in Kevin and have a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
And like we're not there yet.
I don't think
but
people,
at least this is going somewhere
Yeah.
else, you know? Like, look, we can fold this so we can have this massive thing and then just fold it up. Like, what if TVs start to become something?
Well,
you
they
just
have the
unfold?
foldable. Yeah, that's a roll. It's like a TV in a roll, and then it unrolls all the way.
Love it.
They've I don't know which company is making those.
Yeah,
but,
I think that's super dope.
The next thing,
And then also, okay,
Yeah.
so phone companies, this is like the big thing, I think, because they're realizing how many billions of dollars Apple makes. Hey, listen, here's an interesting thing about Apple. 54% or more of their revenue is generated from
iPhones.
this. Nothing else. I think that's insane. You know, the majority of their companies ran off of the revenue of a cell phone. So Galaxy,
That's dangerous.
Samsung, it is dangerous. Now Motorola, the Razr.
Yeah,
Deuce,
so
deuce.
Motorola, who's talked about that?
Motorola.
That's like weird for me to say now. It's like, damn, I didn't have like a Motorola phone since
But you remember the
since
Razr?
90s.
You remember the Razr? The
Yeah, that
Razr
was like
flip
the
phone
trendy-
is like, it was so razor thin, spinning, you know, in the
It
commercial.
reminded me of the Matrix. Remember the phones in the Matrix?
Yeah.
That's like, 'cause
Yeah.
they were super thin. Yeah. I think the like screen shot up or something. That was like the cool part of
No.
the Matrix phones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it the screenshot up or whatever? And then I don't know.
I don't remember.
I have to go watch
But
that damn
I do
movie.
remember having a chocolate, you know.
Oh, one of the push ups.
Was that Samsung?
I don't know.
No, LG chocolate, right? So, like, no, literally, it was like this little phone, and they were really cool looking, and then you, like, push up, and it, like, you know, that was sick.
You felt big time, right?
That was super dope,
Like,
dude.
yo, check this out.
I used to pull babes all the time, like, hey, let me get your number. Just flip it up, dude. It's sick.
Oh, wait, who made the Sidekick? Was that Motorola too?
Motorola,
No.
yeah. No.
Sidekicks? Verizon?
I want to say like an actual phone company, like T-Mobile Sidekick or
Oh, I think it was T-Mobile, yeah.
something like that.
Anyways, this is one of the legends, the Razr, legendary phones of my generation, more so than Brad's. But I remember everyone had this in like 7th, 8th grade.
Motorola Razr?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. The
Yeah.
Razr was super popular.
You were probably in what, like college age?
I was probably
Yeah.
like, you know, married with 4 kids,
Yeah.
about to retire.
Brad looks young. No, I'm just kidding. The
Razr 2 is going to do the same thing, right? It's going to have the folding screen.
Yeah, so here's the thing though, man. Like they're playing off of like the it's like Nintendo re-releasing consoles now. Like they re-released the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo NES. This is like Motorola like playing off of the what's the word for that?
They're just being romantic about their past. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like running out of ideas. Like, we got a new creative team in. What do you guys think? And they're like,
Razr
well,
2.
Razr was dope when I was a kid. What about you? Like, you guys can't come up with your own thing? Like, well, I mean, you know, it's all been done. Let's just make the Razr 2. I think it's a genius idea for Motorola to come back in and try to take market share again.
Yeah.
Let's think about it like this. Motorola lost a lot of market share over the last
I think they got
decade.
bought out. Who owns Motorola? I feel like I should look that up right now.
No idea. But the important part here is that they're trying to come back. And how do you come back? You have to come back with, hey, remember when we were really dope? Remember when we were at the peak? Like, let's remind people of that time, you know? And I think like that is going to work for them. Being able to say the Motorola Razr 2, you know, and it's a new technology, the folding screen and everything. Great idea.
What have they been doing for like the last 10 years? That's my question.
Just coming out with Just
selling like the burner phones, like trap phones or something?
Yeah. No, I think a lot of it was internet stuff, right? Like routers and stuff, Motorola routers, Motorola, I want to say like
Okay, so
CV
Motorola
truck radios, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
so Motorola Mobile was sold to Google in 2012 and then acquired by Lenovo in 2014. So they've been just being passed around, you know what I mean?
They're like, I want this shit.
How do we unload this? This is like bad. This is pulling down our stock.
Yeah, right. That's hard. It's a hard thing to come back like that. Like, especially after the iPhone just kind of kicked the shit out of everybody.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember when they were trying to like re-release MySpace? Am I talking shit? Because this might be like a really cool product, but
yeah, it's gonna change the world, and then everyone's gonna look back like, remember episode 43 of your podcast?
You're dumping on Motorola.
Yeah, you dumbasses. No, it's I think it's really cool, the idea with Motorola, like Nokia, right?
Yeah.
Nokia used to be on top. They used to be bigger than Apple, everybody. They had the biggest market share in the phone industry.
Now they have the biggest market share of trap phones.
You know who to call if you need to get the,
If you need a disposable phone.
Yeah. And it's always like not in service. You're calling someone like that has a Nokia burner phone. It's never in service.
Have you ever gone through like your old cell phone, like from years ago? Do you ever keep your old phones?
No, I got a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
well, the thing is, you hide the charger because they don't have the, the charger, like the plug is like, where would you get that?
Yeah.
And the thing never turns on, so.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I have all my old phones minus one that I lost when I was drunk. But if I go through my very first high school phone, it's like a joke because it's like you literally forget. I don't know what it is, but like we're so accustomed to this now and like, oh, it loads in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
If I turn that phone on, it's like literally give it a cool 20 and then you're back to work.
Like now we're waiting on a computer, we're waiting on something else, so we're on our phones because it's so fast, right? We're like, okay, hold on, this bounce is happening, right?
Yeah.
Let me get on Instagram. I'm gonna look at every single page on Instagram real quick while this is bouncing. Okay, and then I'm gonna go check my email. Okay, and then I need to write a post on Facebook. And then and you're like doing business on your phone, and then the bounce is done.
Yeah, and then like the next thing is funny that when I go through my old phones is like when I'm looking at pictures, like we're like, oh man, the iPhone 8 has such a bad camera, and I go through that shit, and I look at the camera from like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, or whatever. You're like, God damn, that's like
who spilled coffee on the lens? It just looks all fucking weird.
I think I could have drawn in more detail than that.
I want to go back to those commercials too because they were so hyped,
Yeah.
The new iPhone has the most brilliant lights, and you're like, and then you go back at the pictures like, I can't make out who that is, but I think that's my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited about NAMM 2019. I know you are because you're an audio nerd.
Yeah, I don't care about it. I'm lit. I got everything I need.
I got everything I need, and if he doesn't have it, he'll build it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So I don't care about a new slate mic.
Yeah.
I don't need a microphone that can be other microphones. I got lit microphones already.
I need a microphone that can be all microphones. Like what?
With the click of a button.
Wow. Your artists are gonna love it. You can switch from. I love Slate, dude. That guy's an innovator. Hey, listen. If the Slate product that's coming out, one of them is the new Raven is a foldable screen, I'm gonna lose my shit. The new Raven, now you can fold it up, right?
What happened to the Raven, man?
It like folds it in half, you know what I mean? And we're like, oh, Galaxy X, Motorola Razr, and now the Raven folds? That'd be sick. Slate, come on. If you take that on, you haven't thought about that already, give me a royalty.
At Bradley HD.
At KDE Beats.
At Radium_media.
And at Radium_beats.
Give me all the follows. Don't worry about Brad.
Yeah, I don't need your follows. Listen, I don't want you to follow me unless you actually want to like be friends with me or talk to me. I'm really big on that. I don't want people following me for no reason. There's no point.
Nah, man, you need the clout, bro.
I need the clout.
I'm here for all the clout.
So I can tell
the clout tokens.
Tell all my real friends, look at all my followers.
I'm lit.
I want to make people feel good about themselves, not bad about themselves.
You're doing it the wrong way, dude. You gotta make everyone happy.
That's right.